James Harden is a virus. He implements himself in a team and he drains the life out of a team. Now, I'm not, talking about him being a bad player. He is definitely not a bad player. And as a former MVP, he goes in the upper echelon of the NBA. But quite simply, his behavior off the court and his chemistry with other players creates a big problem for any franchise that takes him. Now, these virus type players, as I want to call them, are players that usually get, taken away from the team. And if they're terrible players, they're gonna easily be out of the league in a year or two, which happened for a lot of different players. But for some players, like for example Dylan Brooks, if he gives his worth on the court, well, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters other than the win. These virus type players usually have some mental issues, in my opinion. They usually suffer from a huge ego, and you will know them and see them because they're gonna blame the teammates, they're gonna create the drama, they're gonna make the team, the franchise, the fans suffer because of their mistakes. Now, does James Harden provide some value? Sure, he is still a very good player, but with that kind of a mentality, he could not play in Europe, for example. In Europe, fans and clubs are way stricter and they would not allow this type of a behavior like he did in the Philadelphia 76ers. And the only reason everyone is allowing him to act the way he's been acting is because, well, he was James Harden. But now we have to talk about the future for James Harden. I feel like James Harden could easily retire next year. Sure, he still has a lot of basketball in him, but I don't see the Los Angeles Clippers having the right tools to make a deep playoff run. So if he continues playing not that great, he will probably be traded, or in the end of the season he will retire because no other team is going to offer him a lot of money and deal with the James Harden issue. The league has changed and now they don't allow players to be divas like they did in the past 5 to 10 years. There is no more resting and avoiding to play and chilling at your house while your team dies on the court. Those days are over for the NBA, so players like this will slowly fade out. And with the age of 34, as I said, I don't know who is gonna offer James Harden a contract. Maybe a team that has no chance and they just need a bit of a boost, let's say, for their fans. But I don't know which fan would be excited to have a James Harden now in 2023. If we talked about it like 5 years ago, that was some crazy talk. Like 5 years ago, anyone would have wanted James Harden, but now I don't think so. It's a similar situation with Westbrook, but the thing about Westbrook, what I like about him is that he tries. He tries his best on the court. Sure, his shooting is bad, but I think he's one of those guys that, like, you cannot teach an old horse that kind of a situation. So he cannot learn how to shoot at age 35 or whatever. So those days are done for him. But still, he tries. He plays hard every play, which I really like about him. Also, Westbrook is a family man, while Harden, I don't think he is into that. He probably just goes and spends his money at strip clubs and just doesn't have that stability as some other players do. If you look at the top players now in the league, there is one common thing among them. They all have strong relationships, strong love relationships. And this is a huge factor, which I will talk about more in the future, but Most of the players that continue to perform good usually have a long-term relationship. And if we talk about them, it's LeBron, it's Nikola Jokic, it's Giannis, and I think some players really need this so they can focus fully on basketball. I think for James Harden is more about image, the image of him being a superstar, the image of him being paid a lot. To be honest, in my opinion, he should just cut the beard and, go into anonymity after this. Now, will he be in the Hall of Fame? I'm not sure about it. I think if we talked about it maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe someone could, make a point about that. But looking at how many teams he has destroyed, no wonder I think of him as a virus. And when we talk about him, it's not like the front office did not do what he wanted. They fulfilled every wish that he had during his career. He had played with superstars. He played with more superstars than Nikola Jokic. He played with more all-stars than Nikola Jokic. He was on a super team that they created. He wanted Chris Paul. They brought Chris Paul. He wanted Westbrook. They got him Westbrook. They gave him everything he wanted. And in the end, he gave nothing to those organizations other than a headache. To be honest, the biggest winners in the James Harden saga in the past 5 years were actually the Houston Rockets, I would say. I mean, they got 3 first-round draft picks for 2022, 2024, and 26, and 4 first-round pick swaps in 21, 23, 25, and 27. So that is a pretty good deal, I think, nowadays when we look at the headache of James Harden and having him in a team. Funny thing is, back in the Rockets days, I was actually a fan of him. And I was a fan of him because I really liked his ingenuity with finding loopholes in rules and taking advantage of those rules. I thought it was very intelligent from a player to study the rules, to find alternate shots, to find alternate things that he can use to his advantage, which actually benefited him a lot, and that's why he even got that MVP. He was one of the main reasons why the league had to change some rules, especially with drawing fouls, because he was so good at drawing fouls. Now, when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he is not as effective, of course. He was always a dribbler, a finesse type of a player. And when he is not the superstar, he becomes the diva, and then, we have the Harden virus in every team. Let me know what do you think about the topic, and also let me know what do you think about this series in which I just, do some audio type of videos without, showing a lot of footage. I just want to create more videos like this because I feel like nowadays you want to listen to something while you do some other stuff, while you do work, or just chill and play video games or something like that. So let me know what do you think about this. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want, subscribe. I'm close to 1,000. That would be amazing. And have a lovely day. Bye bye.